Well, hey everybody. Today I'm gonna finish making the homemade Grand Marnier that I started 1 month ago. Actually, on the 11th of November. And I've got a video on that and I'll point to that. But I'm doing this for some gifts. And this has now been sitting 31 days. Because I really didn't feel like doing this yesterday. So, what we did was took 1.75 liter bottle of brandy, any type, whatever you want, 8 to 10 oranges that I peeled just the orange part of the peel off, and trying to get as little white on them as possible because it's bitter. So that took a little bit of time, but it's very, very thin slices of orange peel. And basically we put the orange peels in the jar, added the brandy, capped it up, and let it sit for 30 days, 31 days, shaking it every day or two, just to keep everything moving around. And it has turned a beautiful color. It also smells incredible. Oh, the orange just smells so good. So today we're going to finish this. And again, it's not a complicated process. It takes a little bit of time, but not much. What I've done is I have measured out 2 cups of granulated sugar, and I use the natural cane. I don't want the bleached or any of that. This is kind of a tan color, kind of a sandy color. 2 cups of sugar and 1 cup of water, and mine is filtered. If you don't have filtered, you want it to be a good water, whether it's filtered, purified, spring, whatever you have that's good, that's what I would use. Probably wouldn't want tap water with chlorine. That's probably not a good thing. Very simple. Let me move the jar out of the way. And point the camera down. I'm just going to pour the 2 cups of sugar and 1 cup of water. Now we're going to put this over medium-high heat until that sugar is completely dissolved. And once it is, we're going to turn off the heat and remove this, and then we're going to let it cool. So I'm going to go get that going, and then I'll bring you back for the next step. I've got my simple syrup back here. The sugar was completely dissolved, and now I'm just going to let it sit until it's completely cool. You don't want to be adding that hot liquid to this. So the next step is we're going to start straining out all of this orange peel and sediment, and it's several step process, but just a little bit at a time. And I'm gonna just pour it through a fine mesh strainer. For the first pour, we're just trying to get the orange peel out. I'm just going to let that strain for a few minutes. Let all that drain out. And then when that's done, I'm going to put it through a finer mesh strainer with a coffee filter. And we're just going to do this till we get this completely clear. And before we finish the straining process, we'll probably add the simple syrup and pour that through it also, so that this should be completely clear and beautiful. So I'm gonna let this sit, and I'm gonna let the simple syrup sit, and then I'll bring you back when we're ready to do some more. Okay, so I let that strain out. It just took a few minutes, and we're gonna take these orange peels and just discard them. But this is what they look like after straining out the liquid. So we're gonna move that out of the way. And now I've got my finer mesh strainer with a coffee filter, and I've got it over another pitcher. So this is gonna be the second strain. And it'll take a little bit longer because you're going through the coffee filter. But we want this to be totally clear and beautiful. So I'm just going to give it time. And it's already looking beautiful, so I'm not sure how many times I'm going to need to strain this. But we'll check it and see. So this is going to take a little bit of time, because you can see how slowly this is going. So I'm just going to get this done, and then I'll bring you back when I add the simple syrup and strain it through again. So anyway, I have strained the liquid twice, and it's pretty clear. Now, the simple syrup, which is 1 cup of water and 2 cups of sugar, and this color is kind of caramel color, and that's because I am using the organic, natural, pure cane sugar. It's not refined and all that good stuff. This is just pure cane sugar. And if you see, there's kind of a foam on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to pour that through the bigger strainer, because I want to filter out any of that foam and also anything that sugar granules maybe that didn't completely dissolve. And I had already poured this out of the pan because the sides of the pan had crystallized a little, and I didn't want that. So I just put it in a measuring cup. So this is not, shouldn't be a lot of granules in here, but we want to make sure. All right. So I'm going to take that one out. Put that right there in the measuring cup. All right, and I'm just going to pour this directly through this fine mesh filter, and then if it's clear enough, that'll be great, and if not, it'll have to go through a coffee filter. But I want to do this first. Let me wash this just to make sure I don't get any crystals. I want to give this a quick stir to combine it. Okay. Now, we're going to pour that, the combined simple syrup and brandy orange mixture. And I'm not sure it's all going to fit in this pitcher. I hope so. Gonna be close. Oh, it's very close, but it worked. This stuff smells so good, guys. Grand Marnier, it's an orange liqueur, and it just smells wonderful. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes just to see if it's clear or if because I just poured it and there could be air and that could cause it to look a little cloudy. So I'm going to let it sit. Then we're going to come back and look at it. And if it needs it, we'll pour it through again and through another filter. But I think we have all of the particles out of here. And the next step is to put some in bottles. All right, so it's slightly cloudy, and I think that's partly because of the sugar I used. So I'm just gonna take this and pour it. I have a WEC bottle here. I love these WEC bottles for my spices, for all kinds of things. So I'm gonna slowly pour this into this bottle, and you can use any kind of bottle you want. I just love these WECs though. Whoa, that's gonna be a disaster. Ah, caught it in time. Okay, that will stay right there. Then we're gonna wipe the rim off. We're not canning it, so it's not like canning seal, but you don't want it leaking. So we've got the glass lid and the gasket, and then we put the clips on. And now we have homemade Grand Marnier. And I'm gonna take a tiny taste just to let you know how it came out. Let me put this over on the other side. All right. It looks pretty in the glass, and it smells like oranges. It smells so good. That tastes like Grand Marnier to me. Maybe not quite as sweet, maybe slightly less sweet, but it tastes really good. So anyway, if you have someone on your gift list that likes Grand Marnier, this would be a nice gift. Hope y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon.